Honestly, I don't know why I come out at 1 p.m. every single day, because as I say in pretty much every video I do, it's so bloody hot. I should wake up at like 9 a.m. and come do a video sometime. I bet it would be a completely different experience. My last video was in Chinatown, and wandering about here in BGC is just completely different. Seeing how empty the roads are here, relatively speaking, and how kind of unchaotic it is. It's complete chalk and cheese. So I've been living in the Philippines for 3 months already. If you've been on my channel, you'll know I'm from Scotland in the UK, and I moved to the Philippines. So in this video, I'm just going to wander about and kind of talk and give my honest opinion on how I've been finding the Philippines so far. I can't believe it's been 3 months already, to be honest. The time has just flown by. I've spent almost all my time here in Manila. I live in BGC in Taguig, and that, as we know, is a complete bubble. This is honestly not an accurate representation of the Philippines. I just love it here. It's amazing. I really enjoy it. A lot of people say it's kind of boring, and I can see that side of it. But where I am just now, having just moved here, it's a very kind of good, safe, nice location to be in. What I may do in the future is explore a kind of more chaotic, nice area to live in as well, maybe something like Makati nearby, just to see how I go. But for the first year or so, I plan to stay in BGC here. And the other stints I've had, I went to El Nido for a week and Boracay for a week, and both of them were absolutely fantastic. I love them. I've been to Boracay before, never been to El Nido. I went to Coron once as well, and Nido's kind of similar to Coron, they're nearby, both in Palawan, but El Nido's a bit bigger, a bit more going on. So I preferred El Nido to my previous visit to Coron, to be honest. But yeah, most of my time has been here in Manila, and to be honest, so far I'm loving life in the Philippines. I really enjoy it. There's just such a happiness about this place. It's a combination of the weather, although it's bloody roasting hot all the time. It's quite often sunny. I know we're in summer and it's going to turn rainy soon, but the sun just makes everything better. If you're from Scotland like I am, where it's quite often rainy or grey and just never that warm, you can never wear shorts and t-shirt in Scotland. Just being able to come out in shorts and t-shirt every single day, it makes a huge difference. And the other thing is just the people here. Filipinos are just so bloody friendly, and I can't understand it, and it's amazing. I love it. Their natural facial posture is smiling. They walk about like this, whereas Scottish people walk about like this. So it's very pleasant to be around. All the security guards and staff are just so lovely. They all say hello, they all say good morning. Security guards also carry like shotguns and machine guns, so you do want to be friendly to them. But yeah, no, it's lovely. So the weather and the people just make it amazing. So far my trip has just been mostly very good experiences. As I've said, I went to El Nido, went to Boracay, and they're just like a 1 to 1.5 hour flight from Manila. That was part of my reasoning moving to Manila, was to explore the rest of the Philippines as well. And Manila Airport is just so well connected to everywhere within the Philippines that you can just jump on a flight. You can literally wake up one morning and be like, I want to go here today, and you can go. So that's such a great option as well, and just being able to do that, have that freedom to go do that, is amazing. The other thing for me is just being in a big city like this, there's just so much choice to go and do stuff. My hometown in Scotland is very limited, right? We've got just a handful of restaurants. It's only about 12 to 15,000 people, somewhere between that. It's a small place, so moving to a big city anywhere would have been a very interesting experience for me, because after a couple of really quiet years in Scotland, it's just fun to be able to try different places constantly without having just the same options to go to time and time again. So that isn't really Philippines specific, but I am loving just being in a city. Sorry, a fly just landed on my hand and I wet myself. So before I came over here, I knew I wanted to do YouTube. YouTube is just such like just matches my hobbies, right? I like video content creation, I like all that kind of stuff, and making videos like this for fun, it's just my hobby, so I really enjoy it. I need to cross the road before I get run over by these motorbikes. I don't even know if I'm allowed to do that, to be honest. I don't know if jaywalking's a here thing or not. Maybe it is. Probably shouldn't do that, but yeah, no, I'm loving doing YouTube so far. And today, this morning, I actually got invited to apply for monetization, so I'm really excited for that. It's a long process and I'm not expecting the money to be anything significant, but it will help. So yeah, looking forward to that. One of my favorite things since moving to the Philippines, in all honesty, is the nightlife. I love the nightlife here. Again, my town in Scotland, it's very small, very just like local pub kind of feeling. Nightlife here is just chaotic. You can meet amazing people with amazing stories. I actually love going out by myself, which sounds kind of sad, but I actually feel that's the best way to meet people in like a nightlife environment. And the nights here are just a bit crazy, a little bit mental, and I love that. So it's good fun being immersed in that. And yeah, it leads to some interesting stories, meeting nice people. And again, there's a lot of choice. There's so many different areas of town you can go to for a different experience. I don't actually really go out in BGC where I live because I find it to be kind of more upmarket, more difficult to speak to people. I prefer going to Makati nearby, which is like rougher, dirtier nights out, but it's just more fun. It's more fun at the end of the day, and you know, I'm loving going out every weekend. It's good fun. So as you can probably tell, I'm loving life in the Philippines, but I do feel I need to balance this video out slightly with some of the kind of more or less pleasant experiences so far, and there's been nothing major, absolutely. I want to stress that. I'm really enjoying it. I love the people, love the weather, I love the place. There's been nothing major, so I think I would probably say, I'm going to cross the street first actually because this is going to be noisy. The most unpleasant experience I've had here in the Philippines so far has actually been Grab drivers. Now, don't get me wrong, 19 out of 20 are absolutely fine, but I've had two real stinking Grab trips where I felt actually very threatened or disgusted. One guy was just a terrible driver. He was slamming his brakes on, slamming his horn, just doing everything possible to make it a really nerving journey. I was amazed we didn't crash, to be honest, so I hated that. And another guy I had was just a disgusting guy. Like, this can happen in any country, right? You can get a bad taxi driver, so it's not Philippines specific. But this guy was he was actually belching the whole way. He was just burping, and he burped like 30 or 40 times, like in a pretty weird, like, it's like he was trying to be disgusting, and I don't know why he was doing that. But yeah, hopefully he got banned by Grab because I complained about him. But who knows? He had like a 4.6 rating, so I think he was kind of at that threshold where you start to get in a bit of trouble if you're a Grab driver if you don't maintain close to 5 stars. But yeah, those are probably the only two bad experiences I've had with Grab. Most have been lovely local Filipino guys who have been very pleasant and driven relatively very safely as well. That point leads me nicely on to the next point, which is just the driving in the Philippines. I know just across Asia, driving's not the best. I've lived in the Middle East where the driving was terrible. But the Philippines, in my opinion, is just lacking the systems to make driving safe. Like, give way isn't a thing here. It's very much a case of nudge your car out, and everyone drives within like centimeters of each other just to try and win that battle. And it's very dangerous. Like, in 30 years in Scotland, I've never seen a car crash, never once. In 3 months in the Philippines, I've seen 2. I saw a girl get run over by a car. Luckily she was okay. It was her fault. She was drunk in the middle of the road and she just got hit by a car. And the problem was the driver wasn't looking at the road. He was on like his phone, and a very dangerous way to drive. And the other one was I saw a trike and a bicycle, not a car crash technically to be fair, but a trike and a bicycle smashed into each other somehow. And I don't even know how you manage that, to be honest. But it's just driving's a little bit crazy, but if you don't drive like that here, you would never get anywhere. So I'm not saying that people are necessarily bad drivers. I just think the Philippines is just really missing a giveaway system, like a proper one. And I don't know if that just comes with overpopulation, the roads are too busy for how many cars there are, that people just have no patience with giveaway. I'm not sure. such a nice wee street. This street's just, this is Burgos Circle, the Burgos Circle, and it's just so many little restaurants here and stuff, and it's just a beautiful little street here. So I need to come here for dinner one night, definitely. This area is called Forbes Town. I need to spend more time here. It's such a lovely area, and it's just like a 15-minute walk from where I live. So yeah, it's a beautiful area, lots of restaurants again, so I need to come try some of these guys out. I've never had food here at all. But there's awesome little food trucks here, so I would be tempted to try one of them, but for the first time ever in one of my videos, I'm actually not going to get food. I've heard my Auntie Moira is very upset that I keep getting food in my videos, so I'm not going to do that today, she'll be glad to know. But that's pretty much it in terms of the negatives of my time here in the Philippines, and that's a testament to how much I'm enjoying it. If the only problems I've honestly had was a couple of bad Grab drivers or taxi drivers, and I think the driving could be a little bit better, that just says so much about how much I'm enjoying this place. I've had no serious issues at all. I've not had any problems with anybody really, and yeah, everyone's just been so friendly, so nice, warm, welcoming. Everyone's like so curious to find out where you're from and what you think of the Philippines and Filipino food, that it's such a pleasant, lovely place to wander about. So I'm loving it. I have had a few comments saying, you know, get out of BGC, go to like the rougher areas of Manila, and I do plan to do that, but just now I'm still exploring this area, and I will expand, I will go into other areas more often. I visit Makati quite a lot in my nightlife ventures, but yeah, I'm still kind of working my way up to that, I guess, is the thing. I do realise BGC is just this very safe, modern kind of bubble of Manila, and the rest of it's not like this at all. But I suspect, from what I've seen on YouTube, is the people in these areas are equally, if not more, friendly. So I'm looking forward to exploring more of Manila, but I'm also in no rush. I live here. Like I'm not on a time scale. I'm not going anywhere else. My next trip that I've planned so far overseas is back to the UK in April, which is just under a year from now, and that's just to go home for probably 1 to 2 months, and then I'll come back to Manila after that. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. I've got plenty of time to go exploring here in Manila and the rest of the Philippines. I've just thought of another pro of the Philippines, and that is how open people are to vloggers here. In the UK, it would feel so weird doing this. It'd be so strange wandering down like a street in Scotland or anywhere in the UK or even Europe and doing this kind of vlog. People would be like, what the hell is this person doing? People would be shouting stuff. It would be very uncomfortable, but in the Philippines it's totally accepted. It doesn't feel strange at all, and after your first couple of videos you just get really used to it, so it's great. I love it. As obviously doing YouTube, it makes it so much easier just how friendly people are and how open they are to being on camera and wanting to join in, wanting to say hi. So yeah, it makes my life so much easier. Again, there's just so much stuff going on. Just across the street here, there's a little plant market. Now, I'm not going to buy a plant, but I do want to just go have a look. And this kind of stuff just happens all over the place, where they've got these little market stalls that you can experiment and go have a look and take a wander about. It just makes it so interesting. I think that's pretty much my thoughts on the Philippines. I'm really enjoying it. I don't know what else I can say. I'm loving how much there is to explore. I love the weather, I love the friendliness of the people. I can maybe share a little bit about my background. A lot of people have noticed I speak Tagalog to some extent. I'm not like fluent in Tagalog, a long way off it, but I can hold basic conversation, and probably more than the average expat. A lot of expats will know, like, you know, maga na namaga, kamusta and stuff, those kind of basic terms. I can go a bit further. But where I picked up Tagalog was, I used to be a hotel manager in Dubai, and this was my first experience of being overseas from the UK that wasn't a holiday. And so when I was a hotel manager in Dubai, obviously there's a lot of Filipino and OFWs, overseas workers, and I became very friendly with a lot of them, and I was coaching a Filipino sports team for a while. So yeah, I kind of picked up Tagalog unintentionally, I would say, but I think the Filipinos were my favourite kind of community within Dubai. And so I went to the Philippines on holiday. First time was 2014, went to Boracay, loved it, fell in love with Boracay. If you watched my Boracay video, you know I went there again in 2015, 2016, and again just a few weeks ago there. That video's on my channel, feel free to check it out. But yeah, that's pretty much where I picked up Tagalog. I've not actually learned any Tagalog since I got here. I think eatlog is the only word I've earned egg. So yeah, it's a little bit strange, but a lot of people are like, oh, you've only been here 3 months and you already speak Tagalog, you're a fast learner. It's just not the case. I hate to lie to them, but it's just not the case. Yeah, I spent 5 years in the Middle East working with a lot of Filipinos, and that's where I fell in love with the friendliness, the warmth, the welcoming of people here in the Philippines. So I knew I wanted to move here, but obviously I was meant to move here in 2020, and as we know, music, the pandemic happened, so I didn't get to move, and I had to wait, and then it was only this year, 2023, that I finally got to move over. So yeah, it's been a really positive, good move for me. So yeah, very grateful to the Philippines and its people. One issue I have had actually is they don't seem to want to let me open a bank account here, which I kind of understand, but I also kind of don't. I'm on a tourist visa. I've got 6 months on that visa just now. I've got a condo here for a year with an actual address in my name, and yeah, they just don't want to seem to give me a bank account. I've tried at a few banks and they're just kind of, oh, tourist visa, we can't do it. And I don't know why, because if it's just a normal account where I can transfer money and take it out, I don't see the problem with that. If I was borrowing money, that would be different, or if there was interest rates or any kind of possibility that I would owe that bank money. I could understand why they wouldn't do that on a tourist visa, obviously. But yeah, I'm not really sure why they don't let you do that. I don't think that's Philippines specific though. I think that's most countries. It's just my lack of understanding of the banking system. But at the moment, every 10,000 pesos I take out, I have to pay 250 pesos on that 10,000 pesos. So I'm kind of getting shafted a little bit there. It's not terrible, but it's not the best. Hello. Hi. Hello. Oh, you're cute. Oh, don't think you're too friendly. You're not too friendly. Ako po si Greg. Kinagagala ko makilala ka po. Okay, paalam po. Yeah, that cat was not a fan of me actually. I think I disturbed it a little bit. Sorry. I've not featured Shake Shack in one of my videos in far too long, so let's go to Shake Shack. Hello po, musta? Good po. Pakibigyan mo ko ng malaki fresh lemonade po.
One fresh lemonade.
Opo. That's it, thank you.
Please take to go.
Sorry?
To go.
Dito po.
Can I know your good name, sir?
Craig. Craig. C-R-A-I-G.
Galing niyo mag-Tagalog, sir.
Oh, salamat po. Oh, this looks so refreshing. Wow, it's sweet, but very nice. That's a wrap. Oh, that lemonade was good. Hit the spot, definitely. Needed that. It's hot and I just wanted a refreshing drink, and that was lovely. It's such a gorgeous day here in Manila. The sky is just crystal clear blue, very white, fluffy clouds. Perfect. That sums up my time here in Manila. I'm loving life in the Philippines. I love the people, love the place, love the weather. Just love it, love the vibe. Everything's happy, everything's positive. So yeah, thoroughly enjoying myself, and I really hope that it continues like this. Any negatives I've had so far have been so small, they're barely even worth mentioning, but I felt I had to kind of give some kind of negatives just to balance it out a little bit. But yeah, loving life. So thank you very much, Philippines. Thanks to everybody that's been supporting my YouTube channel here. I know I've got a huge Filipino following now, and that means the world to me. So maraming salamat, and I'll see you in the next video. Ingat!